Well, I say 12 to 24-month resistance to change will retire. This is not just the music business, because you can't possibly live in a situation where nobody is going to support this. Benjamin Franklin has a great quote on this. They who can give up, essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. This is not something that's going to work, and that's something we should definitely oppose. Because in a couple of years, what's going to happen, 3 to 5 years, ownership will matter less. Not in a legal way, but mind share and market share is what matters. Does it really matter if people download my zeros and ones for free? All my books are free. I have Mindshare. That's why you are here. Right? That's how the market process works. I used to be a musician, so I know what I'm talking about. 2 to 3 years, we have a global social brain with real-time previews, geotagging, status updates, pictures, videos, and so on, all the stuff that we're already doing. Imagine this actually being connected to a global brain. Who gets to do this? Who gets to control it? Who gets to use the data? How about privacy? Millions of questions. In any case, this is a lot better than before, even if we do have all these issues. Right? Before, we had only very, very little of this. So it's a great benefit to everyone to actually move. Now, a lot of people are saying, take Twitter. Many of you are Twittering right now. I can see by your moving fingers. Most people don't actually tweet, right? Look at the red line. The top red line means the amount of tweets, 0. Most users. And on the other end of the equation, most people that actually join don't follow anyone or don't get followed, right? So it's so early with Twitter. It's way earlier. It's like Google in the labs in the garage. Okay? In 5 years, 1/3 of the population will engage. 1/3. Because the interface will be easy, the devices will be easy, the costs will be low. Right? And I don't mean Twitter. I mean in general they will engage doing this sharing stuff. In 18 months, we'll have socially augmented reality. Here's an example. Thankfully, you can't do this yet. Otherwise, you would superimpose my network profile over me and realize the latest bad tweets or good tweets or my free books or whatever. So this is what's going to happen, the completely mashed up reality of real life, the meat space, as people say, and cyberspace, right? All these things mixing up together in augmented reality. And of course, basically the world is reinventing to be connected. This is not a big deal to us because we are connected. But Asia, Africa, Google is putting 16 satellites in space. It's called the other 3 billion, or the 2 billion, O2B, right? Basically giving free internet access around the world to people in Asia and Brazil and so on. So the cost of staying in touch will drop towards 0. Well, it's already basically 0, right? But I mean, we do pay. But this cost will be declining around the world. Think what that will do to us. Staying in touch also means, by the way, marketing and advertising, right? That's a form of staying in touch. So what's going to happen is we have to learn how to juggle. Like anybody can learn how to juggle with 2 balls in 10, 15 minutes, but 3 balls, 4 balls, right? It takes time to learn the juggling of social media. This is a thing I got from trendwatching.com. Basically what's happening, for example, in travel, that people don't go home anymore to fill out the review of the hotel. They do it in the hotel room, right? Or while they're waiting in the lobby. In Germany, if you put an iPhone on the table in the restaurant where you go, you get better service. And why is that? Because they know with the iPhone, you're in deep trouble, right? You can write an instant review. So even if you don't have one, put a phone on the table. So next 18 months, real-time social and mobile feedback rating tech will go crazy. What is that going to do to a business, right? To an airline, right? Instant destruction of secrecy of bad things that you're going to do. What I call the extreme reputation economy. Now, that's not all good, of course, but I think initially, at least, it's quite good. I mean, we can find out somebody's reputation. Even if it's fake, we'll find out that it's fake. But the absence of accurate, real-time verified data may sooner or later mean that you actually don't exist. You don't get to participate if you don't have that profile, if people can't find you. This is quite different than Google search, right? So this is going to be social media optimization, not search engine optimization, right? So a lot of those things will be happening in a fairly short time, are already having great effects on us. So 2 years, we'll have social business or none. All of the businesses. TripAdvisor is the best example. Here's something I wrote about the Dillner Hotel in Amsterdam. I got some great responses. I had to take it off for several reasons. But I wrote something about this hotel in Bangkok 3 weeks ago, and they wrote me back. They actually wrote me back to say, great, thanks for the good review. And of course, now it shows up in mobile reviews and mobile applications. Right? You have a social business or you have none in the near future. The same goes basically for social media is customer relationship management. That is the new tool of how this happens. We've seen it earlier in the demonstration, of course, with the Twitter rankings and what Ford is doing and so on. So we can safely say that social business, again, it sounds like socialism, but that's a huge difference. Social business is trust osmosis. It's like this, basically. You create trust in one place and you move it over to the place where you want it. You move it in a neutral place or you move it over from a place that does not mean business. You move it over. You have osmosis. And that's what all successful brands around the world are doing. As the CMO of Hewlett-Packard has says, we are not actually defined by campaigns anymore. I mean, it sounds like war anyway, campaign. But we are nurturing consumer ecosystems. Actually injecting meaning into the whole system, that creates the brand. Right? That makes perfect sense to me. So here's a couple of social network profiles. I think within 12 to 24 months, we have intelligent, automated social agents. Software, if you want to call it robots that do this for us, that check out our profile, they streamline it across all of the networks. Now, of course, this is already happening with the likes of FriendFeed and Tornado and now Facebook. So that's definitely something, of course, a semantic web will give a real kickstart to this. All of a sudden, the web computers understand meaning. This will be a huge step in terms of how we actually interact together. In 12 months, I think privacy becomes an action we must take. This is a Facebook profile, my Facebook profile. Privacy is no longer something that just exists. We have to take action to keep it. That's a huge shift. There was no privacy problem with television. Right now we have to go and make our marks. We have to actually set it. That is going to be a big change in user behavior. At the same time, I think we'll have digital jet lag. That's already happening, right? That basically, you know what jet lag is when you feel like you just want to do nothing and don't talk to anyone. Right? Digital jet lag is when you have so much stuff happening that it becomes a serious issue. You shut down. Your brain is just going like, oh, no, any more information. So we need filters. This is a huge opportunity for people that people trust. Broadcasters, labels, publishers, bloggers, people that are trusted filters. I think this is a huge functionality in the future. Curation, collating, culling, contextualizing. Right? That is basically the job is not to necessarily create the content, but to do this. Right? There's a huge amount of value in this. Curation and filtering becomes a huge business because of the open internet. Now imagine books. I write books, so this is one of my concerns. I think in 2 years we have social books. We'll have books that are curated, interactive, real-time, Creative Commons owned, connected, peer-reviewed, non-linear, a completely different kind of book. Because most writers don't make any money with the books, so what is their benefit of publishing on paper? Right? Doing electronically, I can do some very, very interesting stuff. So if you're looking at the lives of Lulu and Blurk, think another 50 steps from there forward. The BBC has a great mantra for our future. Basically, he says, use our stuff to build your stuff. This is very important because what it does is what I call the cult or culture of API, application platform interfaces. Twitter has grown because there's 1,000 companies who base their business on top of Twitter, and it's free for them. The same thing is happening, of course, with The Guardian, the BBC.